Pick any two stocks you want. Apple versus Amazon, Microsoft versus Google, Tesla versus nvidia. You can do your studies, or you can reduce your time by half or by a third, and you can have this AI agent, artificial intelligence agent. It will study the suppliers, these companies, the clients, the competition. Then it will tell you which of the two stocks it will decide to buy for the short term, for medium term, for the long term, whether it's an income stock, a growth stock, an intermediate stock. Unbelievable. Let's take a look.
You've heard me all of this, best stock market analysis decisions you can do in crypto, stocks, Forex, COT, commodities, COT meaning the commitment of traders report, ETF. So let me sign in here. Most of my videos are in English and in Arabic, but there is a new forecaster agent and it enables you to do stuff that Yahoo Finance, you can put NVIDIA, Broadcom, AMD, and you can compare them and you can compare the numbers. But it actually cannot tell you, will not tell you the qualitative strength and weaknesses. But if you go here, so if you go to this forecaster, go to stock comparison. Let's start with Tesla versus NVIDIA, and it will tell you, it won't give you just the numbers like every other website can give you. The ultimate scores, look it up, or if you know what it is, actually forecaster will tell you what it is. Final verdict. If prioritizing stability and current profitability, NVIDIA is the bearer stock. However, for aggressive growth, so you see where this is going, right? So it gives you an idea and then you can do the research yourself. You can actually do the research yourself. And if you type in Lucid versus Neo or Eli Lilly versus Novo Nordisk, it still does not have all the information on Novo Nordisk's Danish company. Recommendation for long-term investment, Novo Nordisk may be more appealing. Maybe. This is not a recommendation to buy and sell. This is just an opinion by the AI agent. Maybe more appealing given its focus on high-demand therapeutic areas and so on and so forth. So upcoming stocks listings in the United States. Which listings? So Service Titan, it did come out. ARM Holdings, a huge semiconductor AI company. Instacart and Pinterest. Do you know Pinterest? Yes, of course, Pinterest. Yes, they're going to have an IPO. So would it be as successful as Reddit? Why is everybody talking about quantum computers? If you do the comparison and you type in QBTS, which is D-Wave, powerful one, versus Rigetti or Aeon, and it will tell you that all the comparison, and it will tell you that D-Wave, choosing D-Wave between and Rigetti, long-term investment warrants careful consideration. Recommendation, if risk appetite allows, D-Wave Quantum may present a higher short-term growth opportunity due to part of very diplomatic, this AI agent. Conversely, Rigetti Computing appears steadier. And actually, I own D-Wave. It's the first quantum company that actually managed to commercialize its assets, its technology. And the head of quantum of D-Wave just went in on Fox News, Fox Business, and he had a very successful interview, and you can see it here. But Aeon Q actually is the company that is the only one that probably has a supplier or has a relationship with NVIDIA. McDonald's, Domino's, FedEx, UPS, Coke, Pepsi, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Starbucks, Krispy Kreme, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Palo Alto Networks, CrowdStrike, Exxon, Chevron, Walgreens, CVS, Costco, Walmart. But you can do a lot of this stuff. But for those of you who are new about this forecaster, you can get a 10% discount here. But if you go to NASDAQ, if you type in, let's say, and you can do the analysis yourself, and you can rank, and you can basically see which company in the NASDAQ has the biggest price appreciation over the last 3 months or 12 months. You can go to price change, and over the last 1 year. So I'm doing this on December the 15th. So 1 year, So over the last 12 months, that means pretty much year to date. And year to date, it says that obviously NVIDIA is the highest performer year to date, followed by ARM, Marvell, all the AI space. But what about the last month? The last month, meaning since the election victory of Trump, Grail, Marvell, and what about in terms of market cap? Okay, well, I don't care about size. What about ratios? What about profit margin? The company that has the biggest profit margin, which is basically net income divided by revenues, divided by revenues, you will see that NVIDIA has the highest price margin or profit margin. What about dividends? Is it generous? The Diamondback Energy, the Kraft, it's, well, we know technology, they don't really give that much, but there is there anything that stands out? So basically the consumer companies, Kraft and Diamond and so on and so forth, yes, they do give you, and you know, the steady companies, the utility and so on. But what about return on equity? And you can do this for the S&P, for the DAX, or for the Euro stocks. So yeah, if Eurozone is really falling apart and so on and so forth, why is the DAX at, if you could go to overview, why it's an all-time high? And you can go to the ranking and you can see which companies, which are the biggest companies, SAP, Siemens, Deutsche Telekom, Airbus, they are basically the biggest in terms of market cap. But what about in terms, do these Europeans and Germans, do they give much money? Do they give ratios? Do they give dividend? How are they in the dividend yield? Volkswagen, BASF, Chemicals, Volkswagen. So Porsche. So Porsche is very interesting because Porsche is the 5th highest dividend distributor. But in terms of profit margin, it is the highest in terms of profit margin. What about in terms of size, market cap? It's not the biggest company. It's nowhere near, is it? So the highest is 277 billion. Porsche, P, you click again, 277, yeah, it's nowhere near top 20, top 30. But in terms of the profit margins, in terms of the financial ratios, you've got the profitability ratios, the debt ratios, the capital, the structure ratios, shareholders yield, and obviously all of this, if you're not really into stocks, you can go into basically currencies and Forex, and you can see the net longs and the net shorts, the COT. This does not appear on Yahoo or for free or Reuters. It appears on Bloomberg, which is really 3,200 a month, which is over 30,000 a year. But if you just go back here, hot topics, again, country economic cycle, the best currencies, mega trends, so on and so forth. Say you want a nice update, you can go to what's going on around the world. And in North America, news items, Microsoft 800 million impairment charged you. News items, China's economic stimulus measures, which has been helping gold, or the COT commitment report, who is net long, who short compared to the price, reportables, non-reportables, and so on and so forth. Well, what about some technical analysis or some seasonality? When is the best time for you to have bought the euro dollar? So if you look at this, okay, so you can see some from here over the last, so it tells you the average of the last 3 years, average 5 years. What I'm going to add is seasonality, and I'm going to add the current year to see how is the current year compared to the average last 3 years, last 5 years. What about the last 7 years? So basically what it shows you that current year so far, it has not really been comparable to the other years, but I do think that I showed in previous videos that the end of 2016 of this year is very similar to the end of 2016, and maybe we could see some sort of a temporary bottom in the euro dollar, especially if Trump is going to try to talk down the US dollar. But what this tells you is that the purple, the last 7 years, the blue over the last 5 years, and the yellow over the last 3 years, if you click here, shade it. So you click and you shade and you go all the way to 13th of Jan. All right. And what do you see? So we started from 16th of December to the 12th of January. What happened if you bought euro dollar from the 16th of December to the 12th of January, it will say that the relationship the last 3 years has not been that strong. 3%, 6%, that's not really strong. But it does tell you that if you bought between December 15th or the 16th and sold on January 12th, 13th, in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, you would have made, the maximum you have made was 2% in 2023 to 24, the max you have lost, and the net return would have been this. Nothing really outstanding. But you can do the same thing for Bitcoin, or you can do it for gold. Let's do it Bitcoin. And you will see, and we've done this analysis for a while here for our WhatsApp broadcast group, but you will see here, visually, the last 3 years, last 5 years. So if you start here from December 16th or 15th, and you will go all the way to, let's say, 3rd of March, use the eye, the naked eye, and then what we'll see, or end of February, you will see that if you've done this over the last 7 years, and last year, same period, the relationship or current price behavior over the last year is 91%. And so basically it says that if you bought on December 15th and you sold on February 28th, you would have made a net return of 49%. So basically over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you would have lost 2 out of the last 7 years. 2017, obviously 2007, if you bought 2017 and you sold 2017, this was the beginning of the bear market, or so to speak, the beginning of the crypto winter, similarly here, 2021, 2022. But if you know that we are in a bear summer, or entering a bear summer, and you know that 2023, 2024, they're going to be bullish, you will probably see that the relationship is going to be replicated. And you can get a 10% discount from any of these values if you take my 10% code, Ashraf Lighty code, which you can get many ways. You can go to ashraflighty.com, and you can go here, and you see this post here, Forecaster. If you click on it, and you click again, you will basically be able to, once you are in the page and you try it for free, you have gone in under my code here. But again, think about what all of these AI capabilities can do. It's your assistant. They will start to help you do the preliminary legwork for the analysis, and you can do the rest. And there is so much more you can do. So you see here, these 9 dots, if you click on them, it will tell you what Forecaster can do. Quantum screeners, break-even analysis, rankings, government tracker, which congressman owns and buys which stock, AI agent, rankings, favorites. You can do these favorites. So basically, government tracker, it will basically tell you, gives you an idea that Greg Landsman and this current representative in the House of Representatives, this is the latest investments look who I bought. Actually, I uncovered this previously in this analysis. If you look at this, if you do the ranking, and you'll see that the highest dividend companies, usually, if you go to S&P, and if you go to ranking, right, and you will rank it by highest dividend companies, well, your typical Congress representative or senator ratios, dividend yield. So the highest dividends in the S&P, Walgreens, that's a pharmaceutical company, Ford, Altria, cigarettes and stuff that everybody takes. And if you go here, if you go to Walgreens and you click in here, what you will see political. That means there are members of Congress who have bought this. Rohana, of course. Who else? Rohana. He's everywhere. And you can basically rank the purchases of Walgreens by size above 100,000. Okay, nothing. 115,000. You go back, and then you go to, let's go back to the S&P 500 and Ford. Obviously, I'm sure there are some politicians who own it. Yeah. Altria, obviously, cigarettes, the congressman who owns it, biggest purchases right now. Pete Sessions, where is he? He's in Texas. I think Altria is in West Virginia. Rohana, again, the man, he's everywhere, this guy. And Health Peak Properties, Dow Inc., which has actually been taken out of Dow. Invesco, huge investment management company. Pfizer, there is so much more. New Year's resolution. You want to know which stock to dump, which not.
So in this 27th of December, let's find out what are the top 5 performing stocks in the S&P and the worst 5 performing stocks in the S&P of the year, or the S&P 500. Go to ranking, scroll down to price change here. And if you click on 1 year, it will give you on the last 12 months, not year to date, the last 12 months, meaning since December 27th, 2023. If you click, you will see Palantir is the highest performing stock, 348% year to date. Vistra, 519. nvidia, Vistra is an energy power company. nvidia, 338%. United Airlines and Axon Enterprise. Axon has also been added to the S&P. As for the worst performing 5 stocks in the S&P, you click again 1 year and you will see that Walgreens, which is incidentally the best paying dividend stock, is down 81%, followed by Intel, Moderna, which has been taken out of the S&P, and Celanese. Then you get it from Ashraf Lighty, and you get it here. Forecaster app, التطبيق, you click, and you click again, what you have been waiting for, and you get the link. This is the link that you get with the campaign of Ashraf Lighty. You get 10% off, and you can also video here. You go in here, click any video, Ashraf Lighty YouTube. You go here where it says more. You click, and you will see this link, 10% off ل 10%. Or if you like to go to the comments and say shukran, then you go to the comment section. Comment, and it's a pinned comment. Do not waste your time. Take care. All the best. Shukran lakum.